Hello, kindergarten students. It's Mrs. Belatash. Today, we're going to talk about the weather, right? We're going to talk about the weather this whole unit and some more information about trees. I'm ready to think about the weather. Today, for me, it's November 18th. It's before Thanksgiving break. You guys are going to do this video after Thanksgiving break. But today, November 18th, it's a sunny, warm day with a little bit of a breeze. Let's take a look what it looks like outside.
It's time to do the weather, and you can see that it is a beautiful, sunny day outside. It's a little cool, but I can go outside without a jacket on. It is a beautiful, sunny day.
Make sure to be paying attention to the weather. Is it rainy? Is it cloudy? Is it windy? Is it sunny? Luckily, in Southern California, we have a lot of sunny, nice days.
I'm over near one of the chicken coops, and the black chicken is Charlotte, and the brown chickens, one of them is Fuzz Lightyear, and the other one is Road Runner, and the black and white chicken is Pepper. And I hatched all of these chickens at Carpenter. Now, I'm over near the chickens because I wanted to take a look at this pine tree that's near the chicken coop. So, the pine tree comes right up out of the ground, and in the ground, we can't see it, but there are some roots underneath the ground. And then up goes the trunk. This is a very tall tree. And then there are some branches that come off of the tree. And then the branches have smaller branches called twigs. And on a pine tree, instead of having leaves, there are needles. What a beautiful, beautiful tree. I'm over at the other chicken coop, and the brown chicken here is Fancy Nancy, and the gray chicken is Cloudy, and there is a tree over here, and let's take a look and take a look at the parts. So, I can actually see a little bit of the trunk, a little bit of the roots in the ground, and then up the trunk. And you can see the trunk has a bark on the outside. And there are the branches coming off of the trunk. And off of the branches are some smaller branches. And this tree does not have needles. It has leaves. The leaves are skinny, but they're leaves. They're not needles. And this is a very pretty tree.
So we just saw parts of the tree outside on a real tree. Now I want to label the parts of the tree here on this picture. So the part that's in the ground that absorbs the water and anchors the plant is the roots. So these are roots right here. Now this main part going up is called the trunk. Now the trunk is also the stem of the tree. We think of a stem for a small plant, but the trunk is also the stem of the tree. Then we have these things coming off of the main trunk, and those are the branches. Branches. Now, this beautiful green stuff are the leaves. Now, on a pine tree, the leaves are needles. Now here is another tree. It's not the same type of tree. This is an oak tree and this is a pine tree. But even though they're different types of trees, they both have the same parts. The roots are in the ground. The trunk holds up the main plant. The branches come off of the trunk, and the leaves are the green part of the tree. And the leaves make food for the plant. So kindergartners, I want you to get there's a packet of papers that are all curled up inside of your bag. And I want you to get the one that looks like this. And I'm gonna tape it down to the table so it doesn't keep curling up. You might want to just maybe put a book on top of it to hold it down, but I'm gonna tape mine down. All right, so I have the names of the different parts on this side: roots, branches, leaves, tree, that's the whole tree, and a trunk. And over here on this side, I have the picture, and the word underneath it tells me what it is. So this is the whole tree. This one says just the roots. This one says just the trunk. This one says just the branches. And this one says just the leaves. And we're going to do a matching. So I'm going to start up here where it says roots, and I'm going to look. Where are the roots? Aha, I'm going to draw over here. Okay, the next one is branches. Boys and girls, where does it say branches on the other side? Here it is, branches. Leaves. Where does it say leaves? At the very bottom, leaves. Does it say tree? The whole tree. At the top, tree. Where does it say trunk? Trunk. In the middle, trunk. Excellent job. Kindergartners, please get out your science journal, and we're going to turn to the second page. And the question is, what are the parts of trees? Well, we learned about that today, didn't we? So I drew a picture of a tree. And in science, when we label them, it's now called a diagram. So now what I have is a diagram, and I labeled it. And boys and girls, you need to label yours as well. I labeled the roots, and I put an arrow showing what part were the roots. I labeled the trunk, and I used an arrow to label the trunk. I labeled the branches, and I put an arrow to the branches. I labeled the leaves, and I put an arrow to the leaves. So these are the parts of the tree: the roots, the trunk, the branches, and the leaves. Okay, we're going to continue learning about trees next time. See you next time, Cougars.